So Daisy Ridley just opened up about the future of Star Wars movies on Live with Kelly and Mark. And during the interview she was asked, well, what's going on with you? With the character of Rey? Are you coming back? Do you know anything? What's the current situation? And take a listen to her response.
So is there talk about, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And do you know anything?
Yeah.
She can't tell you anything.
You can't tell us anything?
No.
We are moving in a great direction.
You're moving in a great direction?
Yeah.
Like in the direction of filming something soon?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Moving in a great direction. And then there at the end when she's asked, are you filming something soon? She answers, perhaps. And because she has a cheeky smile on her face, some Star Wars fans have taken this to mean that something is coming very, very soon. The Rey movie might be moving into development, and the way I've seen this being covered is that she was talking about the new Jedi Order movie, the one by Sharmina Bay-Chinoy. However, she gave no indication about a specific film, whether it's the Kinberg trilogy, the Rey movie, or what I think might still be on the table despite Sean Levy's comments, Star Wars Starfighter, because the first part she was confident about, if she knows anything about Rey coming back, and that could mean a whole range of different things. Like I say, Sean Levy tried to clear things up a few weeks ago, and he said, look, we're not recycling characters in Starfighter, it's not a prequel or a sequel, and I took that to mean that maybe he's trying to address some of the rumours that Rey is going to appear right at the end. While I do doubt it, I put my hands up in the air and I say, I really don't know. None of us do. But I still believe that's far more likely than the Rey movie. They still don't have a script. There is no production plan. And while there were rumours that they're going to start filming in 2026, in spring of 2026, this has now been put into more doubt, considering Daisy's going to be in Australia in the new year. She's filming for The Good Samaritan. She's confirmed for so many other projects, but not Star Wars. And I think the main reason isn't because it's not a priority, but because they simply don't know when they're going to start. Daisy is just being polite, which is why she says, perhaps. They might have a vague idea of when they want to start, maybe late 2026, early 2027, but don't be fooled, this ain't coming anytime soon. Like I say, maybe Starfighter, but again, Sean Levy was trying to debunk some of that stuff, so I don't know. I have seen some hopefuls in the Star Wars fandom that maybe this relates to the cancelled Hunt for Ben Solo, which some fans are adamant was just a PR campaign because they know they are going to make it. But let's wait and see. Word on the street is that Lucasfilm is going to drop some big updates in 2026 on the gaming front, which I will talk about in just a second, and in terms of upcoming films. In other Star Wars news, my friends, and yes, we have so many topics to talk about today, we finally have an official plot description for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Not a rumoured synopsis, not just a random made-up plot that some fan posted to the internet. This is from the upcoming The Art of the Mandalorian and Grogu book. And it says this: Imperial warlords remain scattered throughout the galaxy, and as the fledgling New Republic works to protect everything the rebellion fought for, they enlist the help of the legendary Mandalorian bounty hunter Din Djarin and his young apprentice Grogu. Very simple and very straight to the point. But it's time for Lucasfilm to market this on a bigger scale. We're still awaiting the second trailer, unless it drops by the time I've released this video, but a damning statistic that came out is that the trailer for Supergirl got double the views of the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer in 3 days, whereas the Mando trailer's been out for 3 months, and it's been circulating in cinemas. Now, I've seen people make all kinds of excuses that there was more build up to Supergirl, that YouTube promoted it bigger on their homepage or whatever, but come on guys, Star Wars is the biggest film franchise in history. I just think they haven't given fans, especially casual fans, enough reason to care yet. I'm not one of those who's saying it's doomed from the word go. As I've told you guys, I think it could go either way. There is a chance it's going to do super well because of kids and families, but there's also a chance it underperforms. But it's still early days. Come April, May, more people will know about it, and there should be more overall hype. But moving on, my dear friends, we have some updates for Fate of the Old Republic, and then we're going to do a deep dive into Star Wars Eclipse, the High Republic game announced 4 years ago. I have some new details, and we're also going to look at connections to the Acolyte and the wider High Republic. But first, Fate of the Old Republic, a sign of a huge shift for Lucasfilm games. They're returning to the Old Republic, but this time in canon. And I broke down the trailer the other day, but since, I received an email from the Fate of the Old Republic PR team, and they've sent me some downloadable assets, which are just some HD stills from the game, and what's interesting about them are their descriptions. They're very vague, but they do point to more specifics about the game. So I'll just start with some of those, and then we'll get on to some of the bigger stuff. So while we still don't know the name of the protagonist, some people think it's a canon version of Bastila Shan, but the most interesting description is when she lands on the mysterious planet, and they say this: an unknown crew searches for answers on a rainy planet. And when it comes to the Interdictor class cruiser, they say, an ancient starship in the storm. Could this really be the Leviathan? And are the answers that the Force user is looking for the location of a disappeared Sith? But at this point, no specifics. But these details do give us some insights into the mission that the Jedi is on. But now on to Star Wars Eclipse, a video game fans have been waiting for an update on for years. But as I shared with you a couple of days ago, I've been reached out to, and I can tell you firsthand, the game is very much still alive, and we should be getting an update sometime in 2026. But today we have even more updates. In a recent blog post, Quantic Dream reassured fans, and in light of the recent 2 Star Wars games that were just announced, fans were wondering, well, what happened to the other games that were announced? What happened to all of the games that already have cinematic trailers, but were never followed up on? For example, Star Wars Eclipse. Well, like I say, this winter, Quantic Dream said that they're eager to show off more in the new year, and they have confirmed development is currently progressing at full pace. And I can now exclusively share with you guys that filming has been going on since early 2025, and they're about to continue into the new year. And not just this, but new staff continues to join the project almost every single week. A few friends of mine have seen the casting sheets, and it seems like things are set in stone. They know the direction they're going in, and believe it or not, there are no delays. It was always going to be a very long and hard process, as is any video game of this scale. And according to a statement from the CEO, Star Wars Eclipse, while being a Star Wars game, is going to be quintessentially Quantic Dream. Larger scope and a greater variety of gameplay. I suspect when they say it's going to be like their other games, I think Star Wars Eclipse is going to be very choice driven. If you think of games like Heavy Rain or Detroit Become Human, they revolve around branching stories where decisions, big or small, have a permanent impact on your experience. As the player, your choices impact the plot, relationships, and even who lives and dies. So those are the updates, but don't go anywhere. We're now getting on to the juicy stuff. So I want you to keep in mind a very important date, December 10th, 2021. That's when Lucasfilm dropped the Eclipse trailer, the cinematic trailer. That was at a time when the High Republic was just finding its feet. At the time, only a handful of books had released. We were still in Phase 1. And we still don't know much about the Acolyte. There had been no official information about the plot of that show, and I'm pretty sure Leslie Headland was still writing it. Now because of this, and since this trailer dropped, the Acolyte has come out, the High Republic has essentially come to an end. We've gone through multiple phases, so many character fates, Young Jedi Adventures came out, and we've kind of come full circle with the High Republic. It's hard to know how many concepts from the original Star Wars Eclipse trailer have now changed, because filming for the game has only been going on for the last year or so. But despite this, despite not knowing what the Acolyte was going to do for instance, in retrospect, and looking back at what the trailer showed us, I do find it interesting how many parallels there are between the two projects. The symbolism of the Eclipse and the twins, the general theme of ritual, the name Moidians, and yet, Quantic Dream made the trailer before the Acolyte was even written. I wonder if for the Acolyte, they shared some of their ideas with Leslie Headland. And so what am I trying to say? Now that real progress is happening on Eclipse, I wonder if they changed some of those early concepts to fit with the later content. Now I have to be honest, I'm hoping that's not the case. I think there should be some overall consistency with the general High Republic, but I'm hoping Star Wars Eclipse is its own corner of this era. I know we see Coruscant and Yoda, there's some allusions to Naboo, but I'm hoping this game gives us brand new faces in other corners of the galaxy. It'd be great to see Jedi stationed elsewhere, so we're not forced to see Jedi we already know, like Venestra and Ki-Adi-Mundi. And I rewatched the trailer a couple of times and I have to say, I think this is set at the end of the High Republic, even closer to the Phantom Menace than the Acolyte was, maybe in the last 50 years or so. But it genuinely got me excited, and there's so many different directions they can go with this. I don't want to jump to the gun, but from what I've heard, this game is very much aimed at adults, so it is going to have a grittier and darker tone to it, and as such I think they shouldn't be afraid to take risks. But there's still one part of the trailer that bugs me to this day. Who is the mysterious alien race banging drums for a ritual? And who is the being that emerges out of the oil right at the end? There was a theory a few years ago that they were the Grisk, the extragalactic threat that Thrawn warned about. But since 2021, we've had another development. We now know what the Grisk look like, and they are nothing like this race. So I'm curious to learn who these aliens are, what this ritual's about, and how it connects to either the Sith or the Jedi. Where is the stranger during this time? Where's Darth Plagueis? In exchange for knowledge or something else, did he help them create the shadowy figure at the end? So many questions. We really don't know anything at this point. There was some interesting concept art that leaked, and we did even see more Gungans. But the overall plot and any changes that would have happened since 2021 is unknown. We just have to wait for another update. But have hope, if you're looking forward to this game, it's not dead. But the biggest game, the one I think everyone's looking forward to, is the sequel to Jedi Survivor. But share your thoughts on today's updates in the comments down below, my dear friends. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.